Hey there, campers. My name's Kimmy.
And my name's Ryan.
We've noticed you stumbled upon our mystical campfire, so that means there's a solid chance you have some questions. Like,
why am I here? What's going on? And why are there cryptid and folklore creatures everywhere? And should I be worried about the Mothman dressed as a camp counselor swooping down to steal my s'mores?
Well, you've stumbled upon the Aloreing Campgrounds. Aloreing is a folklore podcast where every episode we dive into the history and lore of different creatures and cryptids you see wandering around these campgrounds.
And during each episode, we discuss the sightings, encounters, poems, history, fun, facts, and pop culture focused on our campfire topic that week. We hope through shared experience we can learn and make light about all the unknown corners of the universe.
So come take a seat around the campfire, make yourself at home, and listen to Aloreing Today anywhere podcasts are heard. Or watch videos on YouTube, or even go to our website, aloreing.com. That's ALOREING.com.
I'm Felicia.
And I'm Ian.
And we are the Paranormal Lovers.
Hello, paranormal dudes, dudettes, and dudays. Welcome back to the Paranormal Lovers.
Hi, guys.
Hey, guys.
Welcome back to another week. We're up to episode 21.
21.
This podcast is now an adult and can legally buy alcohol.
It's legal. Finally.
Finally. All right, babe. What did you love about this week?
I loved going and watching Guardians of the Galaxy. Spoilers alerts.
Yeah, spoilers.
I loved
spoilers.
it, but it was
It's
sad.
fucked up.
I was like, on the verge of crying the whole time.
Yeah, like, I recommend this. Like, I don't recommend this for children under, 13.
Yeah.
Like, honestly. We took Patty to see it, and thankfully, I don't think she really paid attention to most of it, but...
Yeah.
Oh, boy, it was
Poor Rocket.
fucked up. Yeah, like, if anybody hasn't seen it, just, I'm not gonna, give you any, actual spoilers from the movie, other than it's kind of Rocket's story this time around, and it's just fucked up.
Yeah, it's a little messed up.
I love that raccoon, though.
But it was good. Like, I like going and seeing it.
All right.
What do you got for this week?
I guess I love the fact that I make money now.
Yeah?
Got
You're
me a
looking at
part-time
new job.
slinging pizzas, and it's really cool because I actually get tips.
Yeah, that is cool.
The waitresses actually get paid above minimum wage now.
I want to say, when I worked there when I was 16, they did that same thing. The waitresses kind of shared the
Tips. Yeah. Which is fun.
Or somebody would, tip the cook.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you get cooks for the tips, but, I mean, it's fine if you're getting paid a decent wage, but a lot of waitresses and waiters are still getting, $2.13 an hour plus tips, because that's the tipping minimum wage.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Where I work, the waitresses get at least, $10, $11 an hour, but they're doing, waitressing, doing the cash, and...
That's why we always tip really well, because, that's what those people live on.
Yeah, I did it at Waffle House for a few months, and since then I've always tipped well. And it is bullshit, because this is the only country where people tip.
Right.
This is the only country where you have a shitty-ass $2.13 tipping minimum wage.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And, I get people don't like tipping because, the companies should pay their employees better. Well, yeah, they should, but that's not the employee's fault. The employee still needs to pay their bills, and you still expect somebody to serve you your food, so you better damn well tip them.
I always said, don't shit where you eat.
Right. Right.
So...
Yeah, and also, don't be an asshole to wait staff either, because...
Yeah, no, they handle your food.
They're going to come back there and tell us cooks how shitty you are to them. And you might just get some olives on your pizza when you don't want them.
Right.
So, fuck around and find out. All right. So this week we are doing another Cherokee legend.
Nice. I've been liking them Cherokee legends.
I like the Cherokee legends. I love living so close to Cherokee and being able to kind of bring awareness, to them.
They're just wild. The stories are so wild.
Well, if you think about it, I remember somebody telling me, these people, they lived in the wilderness. There wasn't safety. If you got lost out in the woods, you were going to get eaten by a tiger. Or not a tiger. We love tigers in Western North Carolina, but
I mean, we have panthers.
yeah, we've got like mountain lions and stuff and bears and stuff. So they had to come up with these stories to tell their kids, like, hey, you need to stay in here, like with Spearfinger, like the grizzly bear's going to eat you. Don't go out in the woods. Kids are like, I don't care about no damn grizzly bear. And they're like, fine, there's a witch out there with a knife finger that's going to eat your liver. Stay in the village.
Hey, if I totally understand. I mean, I've seen a bear on my porch, you know, like.
Yes, the bear that took the trash. I still tell people about that.
There was a bear one night in this place that we lived in, over in Asheville, and he was in the back of my truck, and I heard my dog barking, so I came out, and the dog was barking at the bear, so I grabbed my dog and was like, get in the house! And then so I watched this bear and was trying to like scare it off from inside my house, and he politely took a bag of trash out of the back of my truck and just chucked it up, or hauled it up into the woods with him.
That was a place I miss living there in like that general area, because we were like from our porch to there was a creek in our backyard which was like 5 feet from our porch. In the middle of that creek was the boundary for the Pisgah National Forest.
Yep, miles of wilderness. And our dog, like Chewbacca, we call her our bear dog because she just used to run the mountains, and there was every day gone.
Mama bear and two baby cubs, black bears, that lived behind us on the other side of the creek, and occasionally they would come onto our side of the creek.
Yep.
All right, well,
lots of wildlife. It was great.
It was great. I do miss it. It was a beautiful area.
Yeah.
Plus that creek in the back, whenever it would rain really, really hard and we'd have a raging river, was amazing.
It was loud.
I know, it would put me to sleep. We had a tin roof too.
Yeah.
So like it would rain and you got the ting 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 ting, and then you got the
yeah.
It's amazing. So, well, out in the wilderness of the Nantahala National Forest, there sits a prehistoric soapstone boulder. And this is called Judaculla Rock.
Nice.
This is not just any boulder, but it has prehistoric petroglyphs carved all over the exposed surface. For anyone who does not know, a petroglyph is a prehistoric carving or etching. This boulder, that is roughly 22 square meters or 240 square feet,
wow,
sits in the middle of an open field. I'd heard of Judaculla Rock before, but I did not know that this thing was 240 square feet.
That's a lot.
Like, it is massive. There are soapstone bowl extraction marks on the boulder, which scientists have roughly dated to 1400 BC to 200 AD. The etchings that are covering the surface of it roughly date between 300 and 4,000 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, so this, like
it's
I said,
old rock.
It's prehistoric.
Sure.
Now, the density of markings make it difficult to know exactly. Here, I'll let you look at these pictures if you want to scroll up and take a peek at it.
Cool.
Now, the sheer density of markings make it difficult to know exactly how many markings there are on the surface, but there have been some efforts made to catalog the markings.
It's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm. Now, from what I found on the sources, these are the markings that have been identified thus far. You ready?
Oh, I like the black and white picture of this one.
Is it the guy sitting on the rock?
Yeah, well, he's not sitting on it, but he's standing behind it. And
Yeah, it shows you the size of it.
Well, you can see all the markings real well on it.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
Yep. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. So, to date, they have categorized or cataloged 1,458 cup marks, 47 curvilinear units, 10 bowl-shaped depressions, 10 stick figures, 9 reels, 3 concentric ring designs, 3 curvilinear motifs, 3 deer tracks, 3 claw-like imprints, 1 arc, 1 cross and circle, and at least 1 winged shape. It's a lot. Science has done its best to figure out where the markings come from, of course. There are many theories, the most common of which is that they come from prehistoric ancestors of the Cherokee people of the area. But of course, this is not a scientific podcast, but a paranormal podcast.
Sure.
And like I said at the beginning, there is a Cherokee legend attached to this rock.
Nice.
Judaculla, or Tuscaloosa, is known as the god of game and master of all animals. Judaculla was a giant with slanted eyes, fur covering his body, and each of his 7 fingers and toes on his hands and feet ended in large curved claws. I don't know what it is about the Cherokee people and their legends of people with curved claws, but that's a thing, I guess. But this guy wasn't like Spearfinger. Like, he's not out there just like killing people just for fun.
Right.
It is said that he could jump from mountaintop to mountaintop in a single bound.
Nice.
He could empty a river with a single drink. And he could control the weather.
Nice.
Judaculla also had the ability to travel from this realm to the realm of spirits. It is said that, It is said that Judaculla Rock was his gateway between the 2 realms.
Oh, it's a portal. That's cool.
Yeah. It was his portal. And it would also seem that Judaculla was very lonely, so one day he went out and got himself a wife. He literally went out, found a woman, married her, and then kidnapped her. Took her to the spirit world, where she was trapped. Of course, her family, specifically her brother and her mother, were very upset about this. Nobody wants their sister to get kidnapped by a deity.
Sure.
They wanted Judaculla is a hard word for me to say over and over and over again.
Yeah.
They wanted Judaculla to release her so that they could see her again. So they went to a cave where she was being held with other gods and fasted outside of the cave for 7 days to be able to see her again. Well, her brother, go figure, man. By the 6th day, her brother was famished. And by the end of the 7th day, he had caved in and eaten 1 piece of meat. In a fit of rage, Judaculla struck him with lightning and killed him.
Wow.
His wife, of course, is distraught and begged him to release her so that she could go back to her family.
Sure.
But he did not want to let her go. So instead, he did a compromise. I was going to say, like, in air quotes, but I guess it is kind of a compromise. He made an arrangement with her people that the most faithful and brave of them would be granted entrance to the spirit world after their deaths. And they'd be able to stay there forever and ever and ever.
So they could go see her after they died.
They could all be together in death.
Right.
Which what I said is, I was kind of like, well, that doesn't sound like much of a compromise, but, you know.
It's Shakespearean.
The short span of our human lives versus an eternity in the spirit realm.
Sure.
Now, to throw this in here real quick, another thing I found out about Judaculla that you might like this. When he was in this realm, he staked his claim on top of Richard Balsam Mountain. Where he dwelled at was in a cave called Judaculla's Judgment. That cave is now known as Devil's Courthouse.
I was about to say, is it Devil's Courthouse?
I vote for renaming Devil's Courthouse back to Judaculla's Judgment because
Sure.
I like that.
That's cool.
Like the Devil's Courthouse, you're like, oh, the devil has a courthouse. But then, like, Judaculla's Judgment, like, Judaculla's judging you, bitch.
Right.
Like, that gives me more pause than the devil.
I mean, Judaculla was probably before
Oh, yeah.
they named, like,
Judaculla,
the Devil's Courthouse stories.
Yeah. I mean, he was here long before colonizers showed up. So
we'll cover Devil's Courthouse in a future episode.
Devil's Courthouse, Devil's Tramping Ground.
Yeah, Devil's Stomping Ground.
Now remember how he liked to jump from mountaintop to mountaintop?
Sure.
He would use this method of transportation to scare away hunters who would trespass onto his land. And it is said that during one of these jumps, he jumped onto this boulder, and you can slightly see a 7-toed impression on the edge of the boulder where his foot landed, which is interesting. So the compromise he made with his bride.
So I guess it would make a boom then too, huh? To like
I can
scare off
imagine.
the hunters, like boom,
Yeah.
like a Hulk smash.
Yeah, essentially. Legend states that when he made the compromise with his bride and her people, that's when the markings appeared on the surface. It is said that they show the way, giving instructions and a map to the spirit realm.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. One source I saw stated that even today, some people will still go there to meditate and to try and like figure out the meaning of the markings.
It's like the whole ley lines thing. You've heard of ley lines and stuff,
Love
right?
me some ley lines. Yeah. I know. You know how it's really, really hard to actually find a legitimate map of ley lines because they're not scientifically real?
Right.
Which, like, okay. To this day, Judaculla Rock stands as a very important sacred site for the Eastern Band of the Cherokee Indians.
Sure.
There is a dedicated group. I believe it's made up of volunteers and like employee people that take care of the rock and the area around it. Now, interestingly enough, I found this interesting. The cut marks and the ring motifs have been found on other rocks across the globe. Most notably, there are thousands of stones across the UK that are covered in cut marks and ring motifs.
Nice.
And I literally had to look this up because a lot of them are in Scotland for some reason. There's like fields of these boulders covered in etchings. Like everywhere.
I watched a documentary one time about portals. Mm-hmm. And they had all kinds of stuff like that in there.
Yeah.
And just strange markings and arrangements of rocks.
It is really, really interesting, and it makes me think, and this, I know people are going to be tired of me hating on colonizers, but you know what? Fuck them.
Go for it, baby.
But,
Colonizers are horrible.
If you think about, like, how we have the Egyptian hieroglyphs, this is the same thing. It's just a language we do not understand.
Sure.
In my opinion.
Well, yeah.
Because we killed it.
Yeah.
We tried to kill their language. We tried to kill their heritage. We tried to kill their culture. And now we're sitting here looking at a big rock going, I don't know.
Well, the culture that used it, there's nobody left.
Yeah.
So.
there's the whole, people over there, but they've just, when the residential schools and shit came in, they just tried to wipe all that knowledge away.
Right.
So the people that...
I'm so glad that they're changing the signs back now.
Yes, that's really cool. If anybody ever comes over to Cherokee, North Carolina, you'll see majority of the signs are in English and Cherokee because they're trying to...
Change it back.
They're trying to keep their language alive.
Yeah.
They're trying to teach their children in the next generation so they can keep that language alive.
Yeah, so they don't lose it.
But I was going to say, maybe it's because that we just did 3 weeks of aliens.
Right.
But I do find it interesting that there's all these rocks all over the world, because they're not just in Judaculla Rock and in the UK. There are these rocks everywhere.
Sure.
That have etchings in them.
Right.
And it's like, are they from prehistoric indigenous people of that particular area? Are they from Fae and little people of legends?
Druids.
Or are they from an alien race? This is what I want to know. I don't know.
Aliens.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
I wouldn't either.
Oh, was that the last of it?
Like moving rocks that heavy, like aliens could very well do it easily.
They definitely can. But what's funny, though, you talk about moving rocks around, and I don't remember where I heard it from.
Because, like, they could have originated from one specific place on Earth and then got scattered by aliens for some reason.
Yeah, I definitely could have. But it's really funny you talking about, like, moving the rocks. Like, I heard somebody say the other day, like, it's so funny that there's, like, this mentality that people can't believe that prehistoric people were so smart that they could do something like build a pyramid without technology, that they think, no, they couldn't have done that. It had to be aliens.
Right.
Like, what?
I know. I don't know. Until I used to think the same way, but then I seen the one guy where he, like, took a little bitty rock and set it underneath of a big, huge stone, and then, like, turned the stone just by himself. And I was like, oh, okay.
See, what people don't realize is, like, they had to have a way to do this stuff.
Right.
They didn't have machinery and technology and all this other bullshit that makes us fat, lazy humans nowadays.
They had to do it manually.
They had to do it manually. If they wanted to build a pyramid, they had to figure out a way to move those massive boulders.
Were they...
and most of it was, enslaved power, but...
Right. Did they really have a lot of guys, though, or were they really smart and, like, used logs to roll them stones up?
Both.
Right. A little bit of both.
Both. So, yeah, what do you think about Judaculla Rock, Bill?
It's pretty cool.
The Legend of Judaculla.
I wonder, like, if there was one big civilization back in the day, like Pangea or something, you know what I'm saying, before all the continents split. I wonder if the meteor that came and hit took some that civilization, carvings and all, and just scattered it. Because the explosion had to be, like, just...
that makes sense.
Nothing that anybody's ever seen before.
Right.
Like,
or is it even possible that from a time when Pangea was here, if there were Neolithic people living here, they all used the same code?
True.
When speaking to each other.
Right. A one human sort of world.
Yeah. And then, the continent split up and everything, and that code just kind of got mixed in with new dialects, and new languages got to be formed. And it got lost, sadly.
Right.
But, so that, you guys, is Judaculla Rock over in the Nantahala Forest. You can go see it. I've been meaning to get out there, but...
Yeah, we need to go one day. Do a field trip of the lovers.
That would be fun. Oh, excuse me. Oh, damn. This job's kicking my ass. Alright, well, you guys can head on over to Instagram at The Paranormal Lovers. You can come to YouTube at The Paranormal Lovers and listen to a video.
One day we'll get around to doing the...
We'll get there. We got a lot going on right now.
The video of it.
But, and then... You can send us an email at theparanormallovers@yahoo.com for a topic request, just to say hi, eat shit, whatever. I mean, even a eat shit bumps up the algorithm on some stuff, so...
It does.
Go for it. And what's the last one? Patreon. If you feel so inclined, you could support the podcast on Patreon.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah,
give us a good review.
Give us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcast or anywhere you can leave us a review. Honestly, take a screenshot of it, send us to it either on Instagram or at the email address. We'll shoot you out a handmade sticker drawn by your very own Mr. Ian.
Yep, I will. Send us a screenshot. I'll draw you some stickers. I love drawing.
So, well, that was a little bit of a short form episode, but we're going to cut this off and go.
I've been working on calligraphy. So.
Yeah. We're going to shut this off and go record another episode.
Yep.
Yay.
We're doing back-to-back this weekend.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.